Well, hello again. I would like to take a few minutes today and talk about this amazing book that we read, the Bible, and ask a couple of questions about it, questions that are in the book, Bible for Self-Starters, that I've written a couple of years ago. Why does God give us? Why does He give us such a huge book from so far away and so long ago? And what I would say as we begin to think about that is that He's funny that way. He just does things. He just does things, and it's up to us whether we're paying attention or not. Like when Jesus changed water into wine. Who saw? He didn't make a grand program or announcement or anything of the sort. The only ones that knew He did it were the disciples, who were following Him very closely, and the kitchen help. So that's how God is. So He gives us something that we can really grab onto and live with and live in and through, but it's really up to us what we do about it. Why does He make us work so hard to access it? In some ways, it is hard. In some ways, but in other ways, it's us who makes it hard. It's hard to tune into God if we are trying to fit Him into our life. We do that a lot. We're trying to make business. Okay, it's time for this, time for that. Okay, now I got some time for God. No, He wants to be at the middle of everything all the time. And it doesn't mean you have to be thinking religious thoughts or doing religious things all the time. It just means that what does it mean to live in God's world now that I'm here at work? And you just let Him be right in the middle of everything. So God isn't really a self-help program. He is our reason for living. He's our reason for being alive. He is the source of all life. Yeah. So that's kind of how we relate to God in through the Bible. We're taking in truth from that word, and we're seeing how God works it out every day in our life. So what are the benefits of getting God's message? It's just worth paying attention to. It is worth getting off of the hamster wheel. And that's something that's been a helpful thing, having to stay home more, having not to go out as much, and not having as much stuff to do. We can just get off the hamster wheel. And we have to choose to do that, and we'll pay a price for it. It'll cost us something. And you have to ask yourself, is what God has worth what I'm going to lose by not keeping Him out at the edge of my life, but rather letting Him be at the center of my life? There's something in our nature that wants a programmed deal. We want we want those golden tablets written in the finger of an angel that tells us everything, so we can just copy it down and put it in our back pocket, and we'll get back to God if we have any further questions. But God, He gives us things in this amazing word of His that are not magical, but they're powerful. They're miraculous instead of magical. And He has given us things that He inspired through shepherds, fishermen, prophets, priests, kings, murderers, liars, and adulterers. And He wants us in that conversation. What's discouraging about that? Well, we like to have gods to worship. We worship our athletes. We worship our scholars, our multi-bazillionaires. How did they do that? So we think, well, the Bible should get us to one of those places. And it doesn't. What's encouraging about it, though? We can be in the conversation with all those amazing people. They were not gods. They were people like us. They were very flawed people just like us. And God wants to speak in our time and in our place, where we are with this word. So join our conversation with the Lord, with one another, and whoever will come as we meet together this week for worship. Sunday, 10:30. at the Evangelical Covenant Church in Woodstock, Connecticut. And we'll be glad to see you online or at the facility. God bless you this week.